D-Day, 1944. It was our first drop over northern France. Things had been a little tense on the journey over, but we were ready for anything. But something went wrong during the drop. I drifted miles from my drop zone and was left stranded in a forest. I could never imagine the terror that was to follow that day. I walked for what seemed like miles. The woods were too quiet. I had no idea where I was. For a while, it seemed the war had just stopped. There was no gunfire, no noises of battle, just the sound of the birds in the trees. But suddenly I heard a sound in the trees behind me. Then I heard him. A terrifying sound echoed behind me. It looked like a man, but this was something else. I backed away in terror. He opened fire, and I ran for cover. The tree didn't provide much protection. Needed to wait for him to reload. It was time to take my shot. Holy shit. This guy wasn't going to stay dead. I ran for cover in a nearby church. There was no stopping this guy. He just kept on coming. Inside the church, I found a stash of weapons. I tried anything to stop this guy. I think the rocket finished him off, but I still couldn't be sure he was dead. I had to take a look. Yep, think that did it. Back at the church, I found something. A room at the back, hidden away. According to the paperwork, a guy called Kessler had been conducting experiments. The Nazis had been trying to raise an army of the undead. Hitler had personally assigned Kessler to the project. But his project got out of hand. Unable to control his creations, people began dying. Unable to live with himself, Kessler took his own life. Then I heard noises outside. It was Baker Squad. Seemed like my ordeal was over. Sergeant Haynes told me they'd been missed drops all over Normandy. I told him about the research I'd found about Kessler and his undead army, and I showed him the body of the Nazi commander I'd killed. But then, from the woods, came a different sound. Jesus Christ, Kessler's army was still here. We had to make a stand and stop this undead army for good. We formed up and opened fire. This was going to be the fight of our lives. They just kept coming. Suddenly, Sergeant Haynes called a retreat. He'd managed to pinpoint our location on the map. He was going to lead Kessler's zombie army out into the open fields and call an airstrike. I got on the radio. Managed to contact one of our flyboys and told him our location. We kept running. It was our only chance. From the clouds above us, we could hear the P-51 approaching. The pilot swooped low over the field and opened fire. We made our way further into the field. Kessler's army were almost in range. It was now or never. It was a direct hit. Kessler's army were defeated. A few months later, the Allies liberated France. The war was almost at an end. In every village and town, people were celebrating. My battle with my nemesis in the forest seemed like a lifetime ago. I wrote home to my family, told them I'd be home real soon. My battle in the forest would soon become a distant memory. Two days later, we were sweeping the shoreline, looking for signs of any lingering pockets of resistance. A concrete monolith rose ahead. An enemy bunker stubbornly clinging to the shoreline. Okay, there's one last bunker. Check your mags and stay silent. We don't know what's waiting for us inside. We stepped inside. An overwhelming sense of dread came over us. It seemed deserted, but we felt something wasn't right. Something here in the bunker. It killed Haynes, and we were next. As it loomed closer, I recognized the face from the paperwork I'd found at the church. It was the Nazi scientist, Kessler. He was no longer a man. Before taking his own life, he must have taken his own serum. Now he'd become some grotesque superhuman zombie hybrid, and he had to be stopped. We advanced deeper into the bunker, a sinister underground labyrinth of dark, wet tunnels. Suddenly, the shadows curdled. Private Shore screamed out in terror as a pair of hands reached out from above, yanking him upwards into the darkness. Shore was gone. Now it was just me and him. Stay calm, stay focused. Kessler had transformed into a warped nightmare of twisted flesh. I retreated down the tunnel, my boots thundering against the tunnel floor. I could hear Kessler getting closer. At the far end, a heavy steel door marked the armory. My only shot of survival. I lunged for the flamethrower and cranked the valve. No more tunnels, no more hiding. This was it. Kessler was through the door in seconds, but I was waiting. I was going to burn him out of existence. The roar of the pressurized fuel drowned out everything else. Then I heard the rhythmic thudding of boots on the steel floor as what was left of Kessler stumbled blindly away into the gloom. It was time to finish this. If Kessler escaped, the consequences would be unthinkable. Should the Nazi High Command recover him, they would have a biological blueprint for the end of the world. Then I found him, an abomination of the man he used to be. He lunged straight for me. I leveled the sniper rifle, holding my breath and waiting for the right moment to pull the trigger. Kessler was down, but it was not enough. I had to destroy this place, leaving no trace of Kessler and his experiments. I rigged the place with explosives I'd found in the armory. The fuses were cut short, leaving me no margin for error. I turned and sprinted, the heat of the blast biting at my heels. Eventually I was out, with only a second to spare. It was over. Back east, the maps were being redrawn. Generals were signing papers in rooms that smelled like cigars, deciding what peace was going to look like. They won't talk about what we buried in that concrete tomb. Maybe that's for the best. Some stories don't need a medal. They just need a shallow grave and a lot of distance. Looks like the war was over. Not the one in the newspapers, but mine. And that's a victory I'll take.